Okay, yeah.
All right, audio 1 and 2 are on. Screens alive. Happy Saturday. All
We're
right.
here. We made it.
Yeah.
When Black Roses Bloom,
Yeah.
another episode underway. I'm gonna keep the recap short and sweet. You know what happened. And if anyone's watching and they don't know what happened, well, suggest you go back and check it out. No, you guys battled, you met Lord Soth face to face. You freed him from his memory fantasy prison, um, and antagonized him into a fight and killed him. It was an impressive feat, therefore temporarily opening the borders, allowing some mysterious and powerful being to enter the plane, who actually you never asked his name or he never gave his name. Um, but and he spoke of your past trials you've been through trying to get out of here. And it seems that he may have had a hand in guiding or manipulating some more obviously and more pronounced than others, but it appears everyone in some way has been nudged at the very least to be where you guys are. As the Bistani woman said when you first met her that cold night when that undead army came, the strands of fate, fickle thing, but sometimes they entwine, they tangle. Um, and so you guys have rested, spoke to him about possibly going to one more domain of dread. He tells you he's systematically over the centuries made his way and vanquished, conquered every single other realm within this dark land. He spoke of the dark powers that kind of bind this place. He speaks of them in vague terms, though a very real thing. Though he describes them in a very vague term. They're just the dark powers, the the intent, whatever you want to call it, the consciousness that that brought you here, even. But he says he knows that if he can take control, become the Dark Lord of all of the lands, he'll be able to break the barrier and get everyone home. There's one domain that stands in your way, stands in his way. It's ancient and powerful, or the ancient and um, desolate land, the forgotten desert. And yeah, so you guys have rested, healed up, done all that stuff. You are then, after 7 or 8 hours, you guys are just everybody's kind of getting the bearings, and um, you see this shadowy figure come down the stairs. And at first, you kind of prepare yourself, and then you see this incorporeal form, vaguely humanoid, hovering above the ground, no legs. It's you know edges, wisping, ethereal. It's got red, blazing eyes. It comes up, and as it nears again, you start to pull your weapons and prepare yourself as you're not sure what's going on. You hear a voice. You have been summoned by our master. He requests audience.
Oh boy. Well,
What you guys doing? It's just floating there.
We'll be right there.
It fades, turns,
I
but then fades as it turns to a shadow and kind of.
Well, let's not leave him waiting, boys.
Um,
yes.
do we have any sense, guys, of um, look? I know this is sounds like this is what we need to do to get out of here, or to get to whatever the next stage of your goals are. Um, do we know what his goal is besides being lording
Conquering?
over all the dread domains? Or does it even matter to us?
We know. I mean, I think that I don't know. We know he's from his own domain that he used to rule, right?
So
But we
yeah,
don't
and he
know.
also. Sorry, I will say this. I'll tell you this, and then you guys can talk amongst yourself. But I do want to make sure that I know one of these points I don't think I made super clear is that he was like, yeah, he was originally sounds like again, you never spoke specifics, but it sounds like from where you're from. Like he recognized, long ago,
Yeah,
centuries or millennia ago. Um, and he hasn't again said it explicitly, but he does say we can get free, then we can break the barrier and get out. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So I guess
he wants to leave.
I'm. My concern is I'm trying to get out of Sithicus and get home, and I want what happens in Sithicus to stay in Sithicus. If that makes sense. I don't want to go home just to find
Oh, it makes
myself
sense.
being chased by undead up and down, the streets I used to know.
Oh, I thought you meant something else.
You all right, Ren?
Yeah, I
It looks like
feel
hell.
nothing.
Yeah, you
Feel
don't
nothing
you
at
look
all.
like. You want to talk about
It's
it?
great. Do you want to talk about it?
Not really.
God. Yeah. Everything's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. You're crying.
Yeah.
You're crying.
Bungo, I agree with you. I mean, the goal's been to get home, and well, I don't want to go home if it's like this. Might as well stay here, right? So how do we maneuver this?
I don't know. There's more people at home that can help deal with it too.
I wouldn't say he's the cause of the way this land is, per se. But we haven't seen what's beyond Sithicus. As you all remember, there was zombies the day we left.
Yeah.
Right.
Who's to say where that is at this point in time? So it seems almost like he wants to rule this realm.
But he wants to break free also.
Yeah.
Welcome to all these realms, just as long as
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe we just have to hold the status quo, and we can't go home if we don't do this next step, and then
Yeah.
we figure it out from there.
We see an opportunity, we got to take it, though.
Yeah.
I'm not responding to that. Half y'all are in bed with this dude.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm in bed with him. I'm just, I don't know if I necessarily need to leave as much as when we came here.
You're not in bed with him. You're more like an ottoman at this point.
Look, call it what you want, but look at it from my perspective. I had zero prospects. I was just guarding a caravan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just getting by, thinking this will be a free way to travel south. And now here I am. And I've seen the way Vistani are cut. And I know where my home should be. But now I have a very reduced drive and attraction toward that. And I don't know what that means. But it probably means who cares? Nothing matters. Why should I go back home versus stay here? It's all the same. That said, I do want to help you guys make a decision of your own. I just don't. I'm feeling a little bit more apathetic about it lately.
Do you not have people at home? Family?
No, I kind of. I mean, I had a family, I guess, but we were really just we grew up on the streets.
Sure.
I don't even remember some of their names anymore. Like we had nicknames, and I'm like, I knew their real names once, but now it's just like, oh, Chachi, Greco, you know.
I think a lot changes once you're dead too. I mean, like take his wrist and without a pulse, there really isn't much you can do. I mean,
I know where you're coming from, but here's where I'm thinking. Like, there's no way that I currently know of to take a pulse on your mind. And my mind is still fucking killing it. In
we're
fact,
watching, talking, right?
I've ruled out so many distractions. Like I don't give a shit about Vistani Puss anymore. Honestly, even you're not that distracting to me anymore. I'm incredibly focused and yet also apathetic about how any of this turns out. So I feel like I'm in a really good neutral place. It's like, what's the word for Zen in your language?
Nihilism.
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling that, and it tastes good. I want to eat some of it.
Like a
I
beef
want to
and
like
cheddar.
slop it down. It feels real good.
We should be
Guys,
getting close to where he is now.
Are you guys heading that way?
Where my state is?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we were
Now,
walking and
you
talking.
want to take like a
I thought
persuasion
you guys
check?
were just talking. But if you guys are heading that way, yeah, you would be there about this about if you guys are talking.
Yeah, I think
Um,
talking, walking.
so as you approach the door, it swings open, and you guys just feel this kind of coldness wash over you as your kind of heart skips a beat, except for Ren, of course. As you guys
Not
step
mine.
in, you see the throne room. Um, it's a little bit different. You see these blast and scorch marks all over the walls and floors, more than just where your battle was. You see there's a figure sitting on the throne. Next to him is the bent and damaged helmet of Soth on next, on the armrest of the throne. You see there's pieces of armor, and there's like a gauntlet and a boot scattered throughout the room, but there's no actual remains of any physical body. You see sitting on the throne is the being you saw before, though as you take it in now, sitting on that throne in the darkness and the shadow, he, it, more like what it is,
Mhm.
um, is, there's a lot of dread, emanating from him. There's a lot of, I don't even know, fear, I guess, that you kind of sense when you walk in. Not from him, but, there's an intimidation or there's at least a respect that you kind of just feel immediately. The robe figure, as you step in, he's like, you hear his voice kind of a little bit, yeah, you hear his voice underneath, echo out of the hood. Ah, took you long enough. Step forward.
I'll step forward.
I'll walk up and I apologize. It's hard to rouse these guys sometimes, and I'll kneel before him.
I'll mimic. I'll kneel as well.
As you guys kneel, you guys sense, you kind of wash over you this feeling of like, again, kind of almost nothingness, like the feeling of emptiness. Um, you hear his voice
Nothing changes for me.
crack a little bit. A cold wind. His voice sounds like a cold wind on a desolate cavern. He commands your attention. His presence, um, vast and suffocating. I look upon you, my loyal allies. You have played your parts with such enthusiasm. But now, let us reflect. Let us reflect on your value in my eyes. See his gaze sweeping over you with an unsettling intensity. You are in the presence of Azalin, Lich Lord. Gideon,
Sir.
a dark chuckle in his voice. A warrior, yes. But what truly makes you formidable? Your unyielding nature, the violence within you, the rage that boils beneath your skin. You have become more than just a weapon. You're a force of nature. And in that, you're my perfect lair. Is not your glaive, but your soul that strikes fear. His eyes then shoot over to Alana. A brief pause, as though savoring a treasured memory. And then there's Alana, voice almost purring with affection. My favorite amongst favored. Chosen. You, my dear, are one who understands. You see the bigger picture. You know what I am doing. More importantly, what I will do. You're not just an instrument of my will, you're an extension of my purpose. Proud indeed. As he turns towards Bones, his voice grows a little darker. A smirk is curled upon his rotting lips. And boom. Such potential. You were once a being who acted out of necessity, worried to save others, yet now you crave the power you wield. You have become so accustomed to it, entwined with it, that is no longer about your cause, but about the rush, the glory, the dominance. You have we have indeed been fated to meet, Bone, your path and mine. We are connected, though you may not yet fully grasp the depth of it. With that, a quick turn of his head and his gaze shoots over to Ren. More calculating glint in his eye. Ah, Ren. He says with a rare note of respect. You, the one who swore your allegiance to me out of desperation. To escape the cold of death. You were the most elusive. I've studied mortals for eons, dissecting their every mannerism, their every flaw. Yet you remained a mystery. You eluded my gaze for longer than I cared to admit. But in the end, it was the simplest of desires that brought you to my side. Life. You wanted to escape the Reaper's touch, and in that you became mine. Lastly, as his attention settle upon Bungo, there's no warmth, no affection, just icy disappointment. And then Bungo. Aslan's tone is colder than the void between the stars. What a disappointment you have been. Once you were everything I desired in a follower. Smart, cunning, glib, sly. You were the perfect agent. A dangerous mind that knew how to weave webs of deceit, knew the ways of manipulation. But now you've become something else. Twisted, led astray by false power. A blade that lacks even the will to speak more than it's been told to. You have allowed your morals, your very essence, to be corrupted. You are no longer the master of your fate, but a puppet, dancing on strings pulled by something no more alive than any mere enchantment. You have all been so useful. Yeah, eyes you all over. You think you serve me, but in truth, it is I who have served you. Your growth, your change, your power, your purpose. All of it has been to prepare you for this moment. With that, his figure seems to grow even darker. The room shrouded in an oppression, deathly silent.
Look,
Are you ready? Are you prepared? Do you understand?
look, gang. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I understand it all. But what I can tell you is when you let go of that fear of constantly trying to keep yourself alive, you gain a new perspective. And it's amazing. Nothing means nothing means anything, and everything means nothing. And um, and I don't mean to, take a dump on Bungo's personal growth, but all I'm saying is, I think you could still take your hardly firmly held beliefs with you past that point. You can still feel the way you feel while recognizing that it's all for nothing. And it always has been. And it just really feels great. I mean, it feels like nothing, but that opposite, that weight that you carry on your shoulders all the time, you can let that go.
I'd rather not. I'm good if you
Look,
guys
I'm not.
are.
I mean, what do you think, guys? Right now,
Sometimes
with me, hands in the middle, suicide pack.
More favors.
sometimes
You're
sometimes
already dead.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
know. It's
easy for
mostly
you.
for you. I'm just supporting you. I'll be the last Kool-Aid dispenser. I don't care. It's for you. I'm
Mebnock's hand, just because he's on Ren's shoulder, just like slowly, invisibly goes over your mouth as he's talking. It's just like
What's that smell like? It's like wet leather.
mixed
I
with like
actually.
sulfur.
Alana talking to the
Oh, who farted in my mouth.
I apologize. He's having some revelations about his new condition.
Yeah, it's called lack of bleeding. It's
I'll
called
say-
freedom. It's
My
called,
part-
it's called
close
never
to our
being
goals.
hungry again. Can you imagine?
Even yours, Bungo.
Sometimes the light.
Should I call you Oathmaker?
Sometimes the light and the dark walk the same path, even though that path may ultimately end in different locations. And for now, the 5 of us, 6 of us if we count you, are on the same path. And that path goes to this next domain. And it sounds like there's some people that need dealing with there.
Agreed.
Agreed. Now let's get going. But wait, before we do, one quick question, my lord. I made a few promises back in the Vistani caravan, and I just want to know, like, can I still, like, you know?
You see, there's a he raises his staff up in the air, his scepter up in the air, and there's this blast of green energy as this cage made of force surrounds Ren.
So is that
Perhaps
a,
I.
is that a no?
Perhaps it was foolish to think that leaving your tongue in your dead mouth was a good idea. Eternity without speaking, some would say is hell.
My lord.
That's fair. That's fair. I earned that. I'm sorry. And now that I'm thinking about it, honestly, Vistani, one less thing to distract me, you know?
He waves his hand away, and there's a cage disappears.
Well, yeah, I think we should be on
Or
our
what
way,
you-
huh?
Perhaps you wish to know what you face.
Oh,
Quite.
you know, sometimes it's
You
good,
go-
sometimes it's not.
In this case, ignorance would not be bliss. You go to an ancient place. Then met Pharaoh Sin met, the first of the cursed to claim dominion in this land. Once a mortal ruler who hungered for power. Yet he was a man of boundless ambition. The whispers of immortality first reached his ears. He did not hesitate. In his insatiable thirst for eternal rule, Sinmet betrayed his very flesh and soul.
Aslan pauses for a moment, his eyes darkened by ages of dark power and narrow his vision. To secure his dark gift, he slaughtered his kingdom's firstborn son, children of the noblest and poorest alike, sacrificing them to unspeakable rites in order to bind himself to the very fabric of eternity. He became something more, instead of unyielding power, but his soul was not free. No, it was shackled. And it was that very sacrifice, his pact with forces beyond his mortal comprehension, that damned him to the cursed mist. Sees Aslan's hands curl into a kind of a claw as his voice rises with sudden intensity. But the myth, those wretched and suffocating myths, did not destroy him. They made him the Dark Lord, a ruler trapped in his own domain. His kingdom, once a vast desert, stretching beyond the horizon.
was lost in time to the eternal twilight of his new prison. Now he reigns as ruler of death itself, a harbinger of the ancient horrors that still walk these desperate sands.
He leans forward, kind of walking, now approaching you guys. His face twisting into something resembling a cruel smile.
But do not mistake his power for invincibility. Sinmet may be the first Dark Lord, but he is not beyond my reach. In time, I shall see him undone, as I have undone so many before him. Clings to his broken throne, ruled over the dead, but even he cannot escape his inevitable fall. And when that day comes, I claim the desert of the forgotten. It shall be my name that echoes in the mists. Senment is a beast, a tyrant who wields ancient power, but he is trapped within his prison, just as I am destined to be. We are both bound by forces beyond our control. But I shall break free of those chains. We will tear him down piece by piece, until nothing remains but dust, shadows. Prepare yourself.
Does Sidman have any weaknesses?
Thirst for immortality, his desire to rule.
In this land, this desert realm, is there anything that we should particularly look out for differently than here? Different foes, different challenges.
Ask me if a desert is different than a forest. Sinmet is the desert. The sand and the wind are his allies. Though he is grown apathetic, he has grown bored.
How do we find you again?
When you're ready, we can begin.
Let's go.
No time like the present.
A question. You said he's continuing to pursue immortality. Isn't he not completed it?
He foolishly sees his undeath as a weakness, as not true immortality. He is cursed living with his unlife, rather. And yes, he is a ruler now, but he's ruler of a broken and trapped place. Mockery. These dark powers, they want us to live in our failures, misery.
He's old, even by standards, by my standards.
Well, you heard my lord, so let's get to this.
Let's focus up, fellas.
Do we have navigation to this said land?
He smiles.
As I've grown in power and dominion, I have learned that I can manipulate, affect the mists of every domain. I cannot enter his land. Perhaps I can get you there. His land will hunger for you, will accept you.
I know you're all thinking it. Obviously, this kind of great power that my lord wields could send you all home. So let's just keep that in mind. Let's yes and as much as possible. Mind our P's and Q's and get to killing the sparrow. Or re-killing? Unkilling? I don't know. Whatever. You know what
He says,
Follow
that's-
me.
stands up suddenly from the throne and you guys kind of, I'm assuming as he gets
Yeah.
closer, kind of step aside as he just seems to not just assume everybody is going to move out of his way, um, or at least step aside rather, as he steps through in his calculated steps. You kind of follow him down into the court, all the way down the spires. You see there's all kinds of activity going on in this now. You see there's undead everywhere, just kind of milling about. You see the places being like fitted differently and just occupied. As you guys get down into the main area, you know the courtyard. He takes you over to the side in the courtyard. You see there's these like, you see that black horse that was like snorting fire and stuff that you saw before. It's trying. You see a bunch of undead soldiers are trying to wrangle it in as it's ripping around. And it snorts fire, blows fire into one of its faces as it lights in fire, and throws another one before one jumps on his back as you guys walk by. Um, as you approach the wall, you see there's um, 5 freshly dug graves with headstones. As you guys approach, you see there's your kind of heart skips a beat as you see that they're dug 6 feet deep, and your guys' names are written on them.
So it's just ready for us. Like the holes are there.
Yep.
When you're ready to go to the other side.
He's just a bony, you know, thin-skinned hand stretches out over the open graves.
Bones does not hesitate for a second and just gets in.
What about our gear? Is our gear gonna go with us? Is our
Yes, his gaze slowly turns to you, Bungo.
He means precious sword gonna go.
among other things?
Points to the shorter of all the.
Thanks.
It's wider now, though,
Yep.
than it would have been.
Nope.
I'll go
But
slowly get
sorry,
into
Matt.
mine.
Is this to get to the other land, or is this? I'm confused.
Do you not trust me, Alana?
That is
Yeah,
not what I'm saying. I
faith.
apologize.
That I would lead you astray.
No, I thought you were answering the proposal that Ren had said about going back home. So I thought this was some sort of message that this was for when we get back. But if this is a mode of transportation, I apologize. I misunderstood.
Indeed. The gateways, the boundaries between these lands, they're thin. Their entrances are
He looks at the grave.
strange.
Alana will lay down and like hold her sword like this.
He
Bones.
leans over. He leans over your grave as you're laying down. As he looks down, he goes,
It's a shame you can't walk around in your true form that you
Mm.
wear now. It's you're just so beautiful in your true form. So
leans back over. Who's not in their grave?
I'm not.
Who looks at
Just
looks at
Bungo.
Bungo?
Guys, hurry up. Imagine
You're
never
free
ever
to stay
being
here
hungry.
with me, Bungo.
Everyone else is in their grave. I'm gonna step up to him. And I'm just gonna kind of whisper, "This doesn't work. You better have your minions dig a seventh or sixth hole, because I'm coming back. I'm pulling your ass through with me."
Give me a persuasion roll or an intimidation. You're
Intimidation
not gonna
for sure.
necessarily. I mean, it's gonna be real hard to intimidate
Yeah.
him, but see
Intimidation.
if he doesn't try to disintegrate you or whatever. Oh, you froze,
So,
Oh no. Oh, here
or at
we can
least
still
your
hear you.
video did. Yeah.
so am I still?
You guys can only threaten these fucking people so many times.
Hurry up and
Yeah.
jump in.
The 14 as I'm backing up towards the hole.
You won't be clawing out. Be pulling your wretched and broken bones out of your own grave. Bungo. We can
You
settle
walk by
this.
you walk by Bones' grave and you see he's like on his side curled up in a ball.
You just fall asleep immediately, so comfortable. Alana looking like she's actually being laid. Gideon, how are you laying? Or are you laying? Are you just standing? Like, what are you doing?
I mean, if we're supposed to lay in a grave, I just would lay, you know. Uh, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything special or anything like that.
Yeah.
Being prepared.
On his side, like
Yeah. Wait,
like
I
when
Just
he's
taking his stuff
sticking
off like
his
he's going to
tongue out.
sleep.
Yeah.
Bungo, what are you doing?
I'm walking into the grave. I'm climbing down, and I'm gonna sit down Indian style in there.
He leans over.
Suits you.
Leans back over. Before you hear some shambling as you guys are sitting there, and all of a sudden you see a shovel and some dirt as these skeletons start shoveling dirt over top of you guys. As it piles on more and more, it gets darker and darker, and then it gets heavier and heavier, and before the little bit of panic sets in as it's really pressing hard on your chest now, and everything is completely dark, and the little bit of air is choking you up with pieces of dirt and rock as your natural instincts start to kick in a little bit as you start to try to claw a little bit and fight um, and or at least your instinct is. Maybe you don't, but that's your instinct. Um,
I'm
as you
doing
fight
that.
it before you feel the chest. Yeah, well, you're digging and trying to. Well, you're not even digging. You're literally realize now as the dirt's starting to get heavier and it's falling on you, and every time you kind of open up an area, the more dirt falls in and falling into the little bit of air that you have. Um, Alana, I imagine you're just laying there. Is it just as? But as your air begins to, you feel the panic of not being able to breathe. Um, Overwhelm you and that burning sensation in your lungs as you finally take a huge, deep, you know, uncontrolled breath as your body just naturally does. And as you do, you just feel the dirt inhale into your chest and lungs before your eyes pop open and you're spitting out that dirt as you're standing up and you realize it's not dirt, it's sand. It's hot sand coming out of your mouth. And as you do, your eyes literally is all white. They burn and your head is pounding like, if you've ever been in a dark, very dark room for 12 hours and walked out in broad daylight, but 10 times worse, just as the heat and sun blasts you as you're spitting out the sand. It takes what feels like minutes for your eyes to finally adjust as you look across in front of you, and I'll tell you what you see.
Woo.
Um, the domain that sprawled before you. Um, you see nothing but endless stretches of wind-blasted stone and parched, cracked sand, all baked into an unnatural stillness under a sun that glares too fiercely. It seems unreal. The air shimmers with a suffocating heat, thick with a yellow haze that turns even the distant ridges into warped silhouettes, as though the very world recoiled from the oppression of the heat. There are no landmarks that you can see at the moment, no signs of life, no sound save the mournful howl of the dry wind as it carves paths through the desolate rock. This place was meant to erode not just the body, but the mind, the memory of hope. Unlike the haunted, sorrow-laden forests of Scythicus, this realm has no room for grief or regret, only endurance, the creeping dread of endless isolation. The land itself seems to breathe its contempt. Each gust of wind whispers, "You do not belong. Not here. Not ever." As your guys' eyes finally adjust and burning sensation, the sun is beating down. Gideon, that plate mail, and well, who's got the frost plate? You're actually feeling all right, surprisingly enough. But you are just like, it is baking. You're getting starting. I mean, you've only been there for a few minutes, but you're already feeling it just starting to heat up. You
Did
see like
we long
steam
rest
coming
before we
off of.
left?
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a long rest.
Okay.
Um, as you guys peer around, you don't see anything really. All you see is sand dunes and everywhere. Very far off in the distance, you don't even know what direction's what because the sun is directly above you. Like it feels like it's high noon or whatever. Um, Off in the distance, you do see like a ridge. It looks like maybe like a rocky ridge. Looks pretty far, hours away, but that is literally the only thing that sticks out other than dunes and sand and like a stone outcropping here and there of like wind blasted rock.
Okay. Um,
Oh, here, let me.
we should
Sorry.
get our bearings, figure out where we are. We could make some
Grab a drink. I'm here.
more
I'm just grabbing some.
knocks and send them out.
I think we should be on the move. Standing still when you're not welcome is never a good choice.
Yeah, I mean, the
I don't want to move in the wrong direction and be further lost.
Hell, we see one landmark. Get to the ridge. Maybe we could see more.
Yeah.
Stands to reason. Bones, can you send up?
I can send one in each cardinal direction, if we'd like.
If we know which direction is right.
Well, we could wait a bit. Ren could figure it out.
I'm pulling my bag off and pulling out like some of my common clothes and like ripping them and just like covering up my plate just to try to kill the reflection a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. That's why when you watch people in the desert, they're covered head to toe. They're just covered in light, airy stuff because you can't have the sun beating.
Yeah.
It's not counterintuitive because you just want to take everything off and try to cool off.
Well, I'm not going to take anything off, unfortunately, but I will try to cover up with my extra clothes as much as I can. Rip them. Just less.
Will the Bungo? Will the bubble help with the heat too? I know it keeps us warm when it's cold.
I believe so. Let me think about that for a moment. While I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and cast Prestidigitation on Gideon's armor to chill it.
Yeah, it doesn't have
Nice.
like literally like it would like in the slightest bit cool it for a second before it just doesn't.
Yeah,
Maybe if
warms
you like
up
chill
enough.
touched it or something, but
It's hot.
What about an?
answer it just none of you even if your characters have been to the desert, which I don't know if any of your characters.
It's not like
have been to
this.
It's different. Like it's hard to breathe in this yellow haze. It's like from the heat. It's like it's so hot. It's almost like creating like a hard to see through. It's just kind of intimidating in that sense.
You said your devil's up if you want, but I think we should still move towards the ridge, standing around here, sitting ducks.
Okay, I think that's fine.
Yeah, the inside of the hut should be comfortable, regardless of what's going on the outside. So at least if we get overheated, we
Right,
should be
right.
able to rest there.
Well, I'm gonna send out crew to take a
I
look.
so it's I've heard before. Well, I don't know. Would I know that it's better to travel in the desert at night than it is,
Yeah,
or
you guys do. I mean, yeah, like yeah, you could know that.
Yeah, sun's not out.
Sure.
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not like it's like some super crazy survival technique you need to roll for.
Um,
uh,
I'm casting Flock of Familiars, and I'm gonna send um one of them towards the ridge we see, and then I have 4, including Memnock, and I'll just send the other 3 opposites. So we don't know cardinal directions, but if the ridge is north, then
yeah. So
Okay.
the decision is that the ridge is 2 or 3 hours away, and so we could concurrently be moving towards the ridge, but the risk we make is that um, we're going in the wrong direction. But since it's the only landmark and the high point, the overwhelming odds are that's where we need to go to look.
we could also wait in the bubble until Memnock gets there, so we don't waste our energy going ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, like if I'm
Really
if I'm
impatient.
me in real life in the desert at high noon, I'm waiting in a tent to travel at dusk. But in this case too, we just arrived, so we could start moving, and then if we get exhausted, or before we reach the point of exhaustion, we can take a break. It's a ritual. It'll only take me a minute to cast the spell, so whatever anyone else wants to do.
I'll leave it up to the group.
I would like to move.
How about we plan on so your familiars will be able to fly faster than we can walk, especially in this sand and with all this armor.
Shouldn't be affected by the heat either.
Yeah, so maybe we move for like an hour and stop, and maybe they're back, and then we can we can shortly rest in the hut every so often
I'll
to,
have
to keep
information as soon as they arrive there.
awesome.
So I don't know. Could I guess, Damien, how long it would take them to get to that ridge? If it's 2 to 3 hours to us.
Who's going to the ridge?
Flying. What's that?
Which ones are going to ridge? Which ones are going to the ridge? Just any of the
It's
random ones
just
that you...
one of the random ones. Yeah. Actually, I'd probably
What's
send
the
Memnock there.
well? What's the distance or whatever? Isn't there like a mile?
I don't
The other
have it.
one.
I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I would send him to the ridge, and
And
the
the other
other
one's a
ones would go a
mile in the other
mile.
directions, but
Yeah.
the
Yeah. That's right.
ridge is further than.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll know. It doesn't take too long. He's flying. Um, so he cursing you the whole time because it's blazing hot. No, he's a demon.
Yeah. He's a demon. He doesn't
But
care. Feels like home.
yeah, he you know when he's there. Yeah,
He's 40-foot
tells
fly speed, so 80 feet per round.
so he tells you that that the ridge, it appears there's nothing around. Oh, the ridge is giant rocky outcropping, and that there is some shade there from the rocks. The only thing he says perhaps there might be something way off in the distance. He's not sure exactly, but there's definitely it's with this haze and stuff. It's hard to tell, but looks like there's a landmark he can see from the ridge.
Okay. Memnock says the ridge doesn't really have anything, just some shade, but he says he might see some sort of landmark ahead. So I say we keep going that way. I'm assuming a mile out from all the other ones don't get anything.
A mile out, for 3 of them, you said?
Yeah.
I'd
Nothing but desert.
Just desert. Yeah.
As we move, I'd also ask Ren to keep a special eye out of our surroundings for any potential enemies, resources, anything like that. Um, although it feels like we're just in a sand dune, I don't want to get surprised by like some frickin' thing popping out of the sand.
Absolutely. So you guys are heading
Smart.
towards where?
The ridge?
The ridge,
Ridge.
yeah.
As you guys start to move, you just let me get just it's just brutal. Who's immune to exhaustion? I know Ren is, so it's not bothering him.
Exhaustion.
Isn't there a ring, or didn't you? There's one of them that says that you're immune to the effects of exhaustion.
Yeah, I'm looking.
But I think you have to be attuned to it. I know you have the couple of things, so I wasn't sure if you are or not.
I'm double checking. I don't think I do. I don't think I do.
Okay, so
Does someone else have it? There was
after an
something.
hour of traveling, you guys are just. I mean, you don't know how anybody could possibly do it. It's just you guys are in direct sunlight. There's no shade anywhere, and you guys are getting deep down. I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Except for Red.
I would just say before I roll too that we did have the strategy of the hut.
Yeah, I
like,
know. Yeah. But I mean, you gotta some like, yeah. It just you have the effects have to something has to kick in for you guys to be like, oh my god, I'm, you know.
Right.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This might make you be like, shit, I'm getting tired. You know, like more tired than I even thought I would be in direct.
Definitely gonna happen to me. I got a 5.
I got a 12, but I would like to know if I failed.
An 8.
I've 8 as well.
You all failed.
I'm gonna
So,
Indomitable.
12, you rolled a 12. Hold on, you rolled a 12 though,
I
right?
rolled a 12.
Yeah, the 12. So sorry, 12. 12 made it. So anybody
Okay.
who rolled lower than 12 would start to feel the effects of exhaustion, first level of exhaustion.
Okay.
You know that if you cooled off, you know, you would probably within time, very soon, you probably would be able to, lose that effect. If not, then it would start to that. But yeah, you just all of a sudden just get overwhelmed, get dizzy. What you guys doing?
Bungo, I think that the hut
Yep.
sounds like a good idea.
We need to rest.
Oh, come on. The ridge is right there. No, I'm joking. Put
I'm
it
just
up.
like
I can
sweating
see.
through my armor.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, Gideon, you're made of sterner stuff than the rest of us. All right.
Nah, I'm half busting balls. Although, I guess, sure, put it up.
Otherwise, you're going to be carrying me. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and ritual cast Lehman's Tiny Hut. That takes a minute and it lasts for 8 hours.
Did we make
Yeah,
it to the ridge or no?
No.
No.
You guys are like a third of the way there, probably. And you guys have never been happier. Like it feels like AC. You guys just lay on the, just immediately feel relief. From the rest of
I think to actually can can't create water with prestidigitation, can you? No.
You could like droplets or like a spritz of water.
I could chill our existing water to make it more whatever. I would to honor Jeff, who's having connection issues, I would ask, how bad does Ren smell right now in this heat?
Good question. He doesn't
Is
really.
he?
He doesn't reek
He's like an
he does
old
on-
bed.
Yeah, it's more like a musty smell.
Okay. Like Lestat's been in the
Yeah.
basement for 30 years or something. Okay.
And I think I'm mostly back now.
Nice. So, is a short rest sufficient in this setting before we push on? We get enough of our juice back. Okay.
Should I? Well, I have a question. Through this orb, I possess a new ability to spy on someone even further away. I could try this lord, or mummy lord.
I mean, why not? He already knows we're here.
Does he?
Can assume that.
I mean, Aslan said that his allies were everywhere, even the sand, the heat.
He did.
I tell you, if I was the first Dark Lord, I'd make sure I could know when someone new enters my land.
I'll try it. I've never done it before. I don't know how it's gonna work. So
What's it?
I'm gonna try and scry on the. Did we get his name? What was his name?
Simet.
I don't think.
Cinnabon.
Sinmet. That's right. I have it right here. Sinmet.
Sinmet.
So I'm gonna try.
Trying to scribe the
Sinmet.
Dark Lord.
Trying to
Gotcha.
scry on him. So I only have secondhand knowledge of him, so he'll get a +5.
Okay. Let's see.
But
Target
did
with
I-
a wizard trait which is modified through the tables below by how well. Target doesn't know what is making the save against, only that he feels uneasy. Next successful save, the target isn't affected, and you can't use a spell on him.
So I would assume I have secondhand knowledge, so you get a +5. But do I have a likeness? Did he describe him to us?
Like a mummy.
Mummy.
Yeah, you gotta like this one.
Okay, so he'll have a +3. In addition to whatever his whiz save is.
Excuse me.
What's the DC on it?
17.
Roll a 20 total, dirty 20.
Damn. Okay. Well,
You just get this uneasy.
He knows we're coming now.
I get like a pounding headache and a little blood, nose blood.
You're like Pippin or when he grabs the Palantir.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So I'm taking it. It didn't work.
No.
So you guys take a
That's
short
fine,
rest. Anybody who got the level of exhaustion that's gone, since you guys quickly got into a cool area and cooled off. So you're not affected by that. So now you kind of know, like that feeling, like okay, this is not gonna last, or we go down quicker than I expect. As you guys begin to travel on your second attempt, it's kind of the same thing. After about an hour, you feel that feeling. You know that like, oh, I'm about to, your head's pounding, your mouth is super dry. You just know it. You're about an hour away. You've been walking for about 2.
Bungo. Like in the middle of us walking in like hour 2, we're like getting ready to camp up. Do you have anything that could carry us with that spell of yours?
I'm more. Let me think. I'm more concerned about water, but let me think for a second. I know the mandolin. I can. Well, I can levitate someone.
Well, no, I mean like the one where you change someone. Is there any creatures that could carry us? Could transform one of us and then.
Oh my god. We can make Ren into like an undead camel.
Anything with life, like a dragon.
I can't make anything that
Yeah,
astounding.
Layman's tiny hut does say spells of 3rd level or lower can't be cast through it. Not just any spell. It's only 3rd level or lower, which makes it again. Everyone's like, it's like, yeah, okay, you're gonna run into some.
Does it say that?
what it says. Spells of 3rd level or lower can't be cast through it, and the effects of such spells can't extend into it.
Cool.
Oh shit! Do any of you guys want these 2 water skins I got?
Be
Yes.
blasting you with some, I don't know, whatever, cones of cold through that bad boy. Yeah, eat some cones of cold through through it.
That's also 2024 rules. 2014 rules
Yeah.
New
don't
rule.
stay.
Yeah. So those
Oh,
are new
I
rules for
did.
that
Why
spell.
is it show? I have it set. You should have it set where these shouldn't even be popping up. I like that
I
better,
have-
actually. I'm not gonna lie. For
Yeah.
a 3rd level spell that creates a globe of invulnerability up through 9th level spell is crazy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have
No,
legacy
it's
prepared. So
it was a good move.
Sorry. Anyways,
Anyways,
what are you guys doing though? You know, you got just a minute or 2, 3 minutes or so before you're like, one of you might pass out. You see.
oh yeah, I'd say we go into the hut again to rest for another 20 minutes, and then Bones and I and the rest of us can have a conversation about like, do we have any way to obtain or produce water, and then also, that's a great idea, Bones, about transportation.
yes. Let me look.
You guys do know that, or you at least know that there is shade at the place. Like once you get there, you wouldn't necessarily need the hut to like not pass out.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause that's what Memnock says to you at least, that there is.
Yeah. Hmm.
Does anyone have any way to create water or get us water?
And look for it in a desert.
Nope.
No.
Well,
Trying
other
looking.
than these water skins. that I've been
Yes, we
sitting
know we
on.
have a water supply, but we're gonna run out eventually.
I kind of want to take the water skin and just douse myself like Frodo,
I'll stop you.
like a Mountain Dew.
I'll applaud.
All right, folks, do we have it in us for one more push, or to get to the shade, or should I be burning a polymorph spell to turn one of us into a creature that we can ride,
I'm
That
fine.
4 other people can ride. That'd be
like an
great.
elephant? An elephant.
I don't know what the size restriction is on the polymorph and how big an elephant is considered. But yeah, that would definitely do it. If you can turn into an elephant, that definitely would do it.
Yeah, it's challenge rating, not size.
Yeah.
I think it's challenge rating, and if you've seen one before. So that's
What you guys
your
doing?
prerogative to say I am full crap nor seen an elephant. What do you think? Can we push it for one more leg?
I'm gonna cast Longstrider on myself.
Just you guys push through one more hour as you guys again just make it just in time as you kind of slam into the shade of the tree. You just or the rock ring outcrop. I mean, as you kind of catch your breath, and then it kind of dawns on you. You guys have been here, 3.5, 4 hours, and you kind of look up and you see the sun has not moved at all.
What time is it? What time is it, guys?
Ren.
I tell him exactly.
So you have an internal clock, so you know what time it was, like when you stepped through the thing, right through the.
Tell him exactly what time it is on the material plane.
I
We're
don't
the
even know
one
if
we
it'd
just
be-
came from.
Yeah, from the one you just came from is the way it would be. Yeah, so you
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
tell them, until you get a bear, until you figure at least it out for the first time, and then you could like dial it into. You know what I mean? You have to like, or if the sun was moving, you could probably do that too. But since the sun isn't moving,
It's still no. I get it. I'm playing around here. I
It's
tried.
hotter than it's just as hot now as when we started.
Yeah.
Should it be cooling off or something?
Maybe that's part of the oppression here.
I like the
Ren,
fox better.
as you're kind of catching your breath, Red, and you hear, everybody else talking and joking and stuff, and as you always do, you don't know, or maybe you do know why, but for whatever reason, you are always just kind of checking everything out, and you're sitting there, and you see there's some of the sand just kind of rolling over next to the rocky outcropping. Kind of waiting to see a little bit more sand kind of tumble a little bit, like a little, it's just a small little mound you know, next to you, and you reach over and touch it, and you see it's kind of tumbles in as it reveals this little like uh, void. Looks like as you kind of peer in, it looks like it gets bigger down like, into the rock.
Do I see him doing this?
What's your passive perception's what now? I just want to make sure.
Uh,
I know it's like I do need to know
26.
exactly. Yes. Okay. Yeah. You noticed it.
Do I notice him noticing it, like looking over and being
Oh,
like,
what's your passive perception?
16?
16?
Yeah. I got the
Yeah,
third
'cause
eye on
he
the
wasn't
other
trying to
side.
hide it. Sure. Yeah, you noticed him kind of go over there and
I like the
it's
idea.
like a chain of perception. It's like a chain.
All
I
right, who
noticed him
notices-
noticing him. Notice
who
that?
Yeah,
notices
yeah.
this?
I see his reaction to yeah.
Did you say it was a
I'll just
26? Your passive?
yeah, bro.
Yes, sir.
Jesus.
I'll
I
just
know.
I'll put Memnock on his back.
Hey, gang. I think I found something. And if, at the very least, we could hide in it, and maybe whatever made the hole won't come up and eat us. Does it look? I hate to be so human centric. Does it look man made?
Um, what's your insight? Passive insight.
Plus 11 or
Okay.
passive
Yeah.
insight.
Yeah. So
21.
21. Yeah. So it appears to be natural, but like natural, but used by it's used by people. I guess is a better way. It doesn't look like it's often used, but you can tell it's been like it has been traveled. This is not imagine as you really look at it now, you realize now that this is a just huge, ginormous, massive serpentine type skeletal. It's just like the rib cage with the spine. That's what the rocky outcropping is. And as you look down, the rib cage, like it's all been reinforced, so it's like a tunnel as you peer down in there, and that's what you're kind of making of it as. So
Tunnel
it's natural, but
created
it
out
looks
of
like
sort of dead serpent.
yeah, but this thing is massive. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
you don't know how long it is, but
Dead
this thing would be like a
dinosaur magical.
even bigger than that. This thing would be like what you can see would be like a quarter or a half
Right.
a mile
Yeah.
of just like
Okay.
beyond anything you've ever. I mean,
I got a better feeling about this than I do about standing out in the hot sand.
Let me can I
Um,
will you let Memnock search it first before we go in?
Sure.
as Knock drops in, he immediately realizes notices that it does drop like you know 25, 30 degrees probably. Goes from layering like 120 to a balmy 90. But to you guys, but to him, it's like, oh, it's no
Yeah.
longer deadly just to be in there. It's hot and uncomfortable and not good, but
But it's not survivable.
it's survivable. Um,
I'll just say looks like a big hole down, straight 90 degrees. We'll have to be careful going down. So I'll pull out my rope.
oh, I'm sorry. So it's laying this way. So you would fall into it, and the tunnel is going
And
like
then
this. Like,
so it's a
yeah,
big drop
yeah,
and then so
yeah.
yeah,
Imagine like a
big
giant
drop
thing
and
just
then
like died in the sand.
yeah,
A
got it.
huge thing. You guys
Anywhere's
hopping in?
better than out here.
You
Yeah.
guys jumping in that hole? Hey, are you guys jumping in that hole? Just let me know if you're jumping in the hole. It's no big deal, but let me know specifically if your character is jumping in the hole. No,
I feel
I'm
like
just-
I feel like I'm.
Wait, did you say you're jumping in the hole? No? Oh, you didn't say nothing? Okay. That's no big deal.
Why you
Totally
gotta
Memnock's
jump
gonna
in the
go
hole?
like
Totally up to
Memnock's
you
gonna
guys.
go like 60 feet ish.
Yeah.
And then stop. He'll pull some chalk out from the bag. I gave him the bag. And he's just marking the walls with chalk as he's going.
Where's he going?
He's just going about 60 feet in, and then he'll
Yeah.
stop.
It gets thinner and wider in some spots, but you see it goes on for a while. He doesn't see anything out of the ordinary. Partner.
All right, I'm not going in first.
And then the undead sand dragon swallows him.
Are we
Fun
going in
Memnock
there?
goes in.
I'm going in there.
I'm burning my
Are you
ass off.
afraid? Are you afraid to go in there? Is that your
Bungo goes in. Bungo.
You slide in, you immediately feel, like again, it's still very warm, but you feel good about the situation.
I'll hop in.
I'll go in next.
I'm not going to be last.
When I get in, I'm getting 30 feet away from these idiots in case we get trapped in a bubble of suffocation and in front of some dude's house.
I'll do the usual glance around because that's what I do.
I'm gonna cast
Yep.
Death Ward on myself.
Jesus.
I cast anti-death ward on myself.
So looking around, does this appear safe?
I think he's frozen.
Oh,
Oh,
No, I think he's in deep thought.
yeah, he's in deep thought.
Sorry, I'm not. Sorry, I was reading this.
Holy shit! You
rule.
really were in deep thought.
Yeah.
I was
I
reading.
couldn't
While I was
even see
reading, I
your
was reading a rule.
shoulders move.
he
I
was
hold my breath when I read.
You don't have a
He
passive
finishes the book and
perception
he's
of
blue
26.
He's like, so do undead sand dragons really swallow people?
They're not spitters.
Ew. Sorry. So what'd you
Ew.
say? I was just reading that thing about.
I was just looking around to see if it was safe. Does it appear safe down here?
Yeah. As you guys go down, you guys see that it's cool, and it definitely look. It doesn't look like it's necessarily been traveled recently, but it definitely looks like it's been well traveled in the past.
It's like a tunnel?
And,
Like-
yeah. Exactly, like a
Yeah,
tunnel.
it's kind of like a tunnel built around the basis of some ancient.
Yeah.
I don't know the technical term, but let's go with gigantic.
Yeah, let's hope we never run into one of these guys.
Gigantinormous.
Gigantinormous, I believe, was the technical term.
They're
when I was
referred
reading it.
to. They're referred to as kaiju where I'm from.
So is this fully enclosed or as a like a holdover from the heat, or is this like lead somewhere?
Yeah, I think that's.
It definitely looks like it leads somewhere. So, you guys, I assume you use Memnock a little bit,
Yeah.
and you go,
I'm gonna
a
keep
couple hundred
Memnock, like-
feet, or each
Yeah.
direction. You do see about 150 feet in one direction. It kind of ends in like a collapsed tunnel. As you send Memnock a couple hundred, or even 500 feet down the tunnel the other direction, you see it keeps going. It's kind of windy a little bit, but it does appear to keep going.
Let's go. Collapse tunnel down there. Not worth the time.
Hey, Alana, you coming in?
Oh. I'll hum this tune, and I get down there, and I'm like, these wandering monks had this song, secret tunnel, secret tunnel. I forget the other words though. It's so catchy.
Oh, that's
Mm.
that's great. Secret tunnel.
Eddie doesn't get it.
No, I don't. Neither would Gideon, though.
Nope.
He's much
you
things
guys
don't
take
go
it.
over my head. I catch them.
Yep.
Yeah.
As you guys are making your way down into the deeper down this thing, down, yeah. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Let's bust out. We can do that. Just bust out the song more often. As you guys are making your way downtown, making your way through the tunnel, it kind of narrows and widens. Before then, it kind of you see widens and opens up into like you can see still like the top of the skull that's kind of part of the hardened sand now too, is like the fangs hang down as like stalactites as you guys have reached the end of it. You see it still keeps going into a more worked tunnel, but it does open up. You see to your right, there's these there's like a alcove. It's rather large, probably 20-foot in diameter, looking at these mounds of dirt and sand. There's three of them. They kind of come up 3 foot high and up into a tube, and then there's a path that keeps going on, not past there. Like you guys come out. You look to your right. There's this alcove with these pillar things. These little 3 foot tall
They look
kind of.
like graves.
No, they look like they're almost like dirt kind of piled up, almost. And there's like a tube, a tube or a thing in the
Okay.
middle, almost like you see like a.
I don't like that.
Like an ant colony.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. I guess that's what
Yeah.
terminus enough. And then,
Yeah.
but then if you can kind of keep going and curve around it, continue down the work tunnel.
They don't appear to be structurally supportive.
No, they're not. They're only 3 foot tall.
Are they
So they're
magical? I'll
Some
detect
sort of
magic.
decorative or other.
They're not
Okay.
magical. Yep. And we'll take our break right there.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
It's
I'll just say for the
my-
rest of the time we're going, I can cast detect magic at will with the orb. So I'll just have it going the whole time we're going.
All right.
10 minutes
We'll
left.
be back in 10 or 15.
darn good.
They shit. All right, hey, before we get back, Damien, I have to say I loved the whole fucking first half with that guy. That was fucking
Ramsey,
Oh,
me stoked.
Aslan,
I have
he's
another.
fine.
I have another compliment that I'll just. I might as well DM to you later. But just to clarify,
We're alone. Okay.
yeah, this is a compliment
In
that
our
because it's
private times. Yeah, I got you.
yeah, yeah, you
When
know
I'm
what I
alone
mean.
by myself. Yeah, yeah.
I'll catch you later, in like a
Yeah.
couple hours. Um,
Times.
the name of is it like I keep hearing Aslan from Andy, and that's but what is it really?
Aslan's acceptable, but it's Aslan.
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 Okay,
Aslan.
Yeah.
all right. The only all right. I was
Lond
getting
is
like
probably because I've had 4 or 5 drinks
no,
tonight.
no, 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 that's fine. Okay, that's it. I'm good. I'm good to go. Sorry, as you were.
We're not back on it yet, are we? We are? Sweet.
Yeah, I kicked it
Doing
on.
it live.
I
It's all
said,
live.
"Fuck it."
All right.
That was all live.
They just got 5 minutes of our
Fuck it, do it
149.99
live.
subscription, so
Oh,
Yeah.
for free.
I
but
will
you
be
know what they
sending
didn't get
everyone a
yet
bill though.
was our
We're gonna find out
private.
who's watching. You will get a bill. An
But they
invoice will
didn't
be
get
sent.
our private conversation between me and
Giving
my
away the
dungeon
milk for
master.
free.
So you guys have come to this little. It continues on, but you also see these little formations sticking up out of the dirt, little tubular formations, about 3 foot high, stick out. Um, but otherwise you guys feel like a bit of a breeze coming down the way you were headed.
Are,
It's slight, but you definitely feel a little more air moving coming from that direction.
is there any foot traffic? Like any creatures? Is it human? Is there anything?
Oh, no, like you haven't seen anything like that. You have, however, I would say, if you've taken notice, that you've seen a couple scorpions and
Yeah.
like some. In here, you've seen like a few like lizards, but also like maybe like a small rabbit or something. Like there are desert like that would live in something like this. You surprisingly there was nothing on top with the sun out. There's nothing. You saw no birds. You saw no scorpions. You saw nothing. But in here you do see some of that. Like it looks like there's some lot things living in this desert, though they. Yeah.
I I am very I'm
You're
wishy washy about this, but
you're not one of
who here is gonna
them.
who here is gonna kick over one of those fucking towers, right? Like they're 3 foot. We were all little boys once upon a time, except for maybe one of us. But
I don't
you
think
know
think
what I'm
kicking
saying?
that over
fuck
is a
with
bad idea.
anything.
I definitely think it's a bad idea, but let's talk about the human need to follow your urges.
I thought that was gone for you.
Oh, it is. That's why I'm encouraging one of you to do it.
Um, why don't you go investigate it, check it out, like see if it's natural or not, or
All right, fine.
if it's a danger.
I'm gonna go take a look. I'm I mean, I don't know, a general look around this towery thing. My gut instinct is it was naturally made over time, or it's a weird ass ant hive or something, ant
Yeah, as you
colony.
kind of look around it, it definitely looks like it's it's all made of earth and stuff. There's nothing like manufactured or unnatural in it. What you do see as you kind of peer in there, and it's um, who can see in the dark? Who can't see in the dark is a better question. So
Hmm.
you definitely need a light source because it is dark, like it's
No,
pitch
I
black
can.
in here.
Give me a second. Has anyone got a match?
You probably can now because you're undead.
No, no, I can yeah, I'll light you know what? I'll light my what is it, cone lantern?
Bullseye lantern.
Bullseye light. Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's good. That'll do. So
I'll light that for the first time in this.
blow the dust off of it.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, oh, I forgot about you. I mean, I
So
didn't. I just
as you peer in there with your lantern, um, you see what appears to be like eggs, like little white larvae
I knew it.
eggs. but they're like big, or like when I say little, like they are little. They're like the size of like a Kinder egg, or like you know what I mean? Like they're not the size, so they're still small in comparison to you, but they're pretty large when it comes to what you would expect those kind of bug things to be.
All right, so I'm gonna take a vial of oil and pour it in there, right? And we're gonna stop it. Who's gonna stop me? They're creepy big ass eggs in here, right? Okay.
Do you tell us that there's eggs?
Yeah. Guys,
Oh,
there's
no, you
eggs
can
about
never
the
have.
size of those candies that your daughter makes you buy anytime you go any fucking
him.
where.
Don't disturb him.
Are you sure?
I'm like looking around and like
All right, fine.
something put those in there for a reason.
Yeah, to make babies.
I think Bungo's right on this one.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
He's been
I see.
walking a very righteous path lately.
I see when I'm outvoted. Fine. I'll.
Do you want to light these things up, Gideon? I'm more worried about the mother coming from God knows where.
Hey,
That's my point. I'm trying to draw her to it.
Why are
Right?
you trying to fight over nothing? Let's just keep going. We're coming into an ecosystem. We're the ones that are the strangers here, and you're trying to like knock over nests of things. Let's walk past it. Did
Right.
being undead like take away your brains too? Let's go.
No one knows more what it's like to be high roaded than me, so I get it. We'll move on, I guess. We won't have a fun time lighting eggs on fire, drawing a mother out, and then murdering her after we killed her progeny.
Do you
Whatever.
need wine glass and go back up above and roast something for a little bit? You little boy.
I'm sorry.
No,
that's what-
okay.
Okay.
Let's
What
move on. I'll keep going.
Which are so you guys are gonna move on. As you guys move on, you guys can feel that breeze pick up a little. When I say it's not really a breeze, just a movement of air because it's pretty stale in here. But you definitely catch as you the further you move on. Um, and as you go, you start to hear something kind of echoing off, you know, the walls. It's real faint at first as you make your way, and the air's moving a little bit more, and you can't really make out what it is at first. It's probably Ren who's the first one to perceive what you guys are hearing, as it sounds like music, you know, kind of like upbeat music or like jaunty or festival music. Um, and then as you guys continue on, just not a couple hundred feet, you guys are now making out too. And you're like, that is what it is, and you can kind of see some light now. Looks like you're coming to the end of the tunnel.
I've got
Um,
Memnock ahead of us too.
so as Mimnock's looking, he comes up first. He peers out. He's a little surprised at what he sees. He comes out into the sand or into the desert, but onto like a rocky platform outcropping. Um, you see there's like a big rock jutting up, and it's blocking the sun a lot. And there's like a nice little shaded area that, rather large shaded area. And within that shaded area, there's tents and you see there's like a fenced in area where there's some animals, and it looks like a festival is going on. You see there's like, people milling about, and um yeah, they're all dressed very interesting. They're very light flowing colors. The men wear these interesting hats that kind of, are made of fabric that spin around. Their turbans, and they have an interesting and foreign look about them, the way, and they're all moving about and talking, and yeah, that's what he
Uh,
sees. He
so I'll,
realized that this is like a little area. You're in the desert still, but this rocky outcropping creates this large. Um,
Oasis.
like a little nest.
yeah, it is like an
Yeah.
oasis, but it's just it's really because the sun is being blocked. It's one of the few places actually, that it appears that there's this like.
So I'll look to the group. There's natives and they're partying.
Guys, I think Bones is hallucinating. The heat's gotten to him.
Look.
I mean, any other day before now, I'd be like, let's get there. But We should
mean,
still
it's-
probably get there.
Yes. Go look.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yo, guys, what's our story? Why are we? Wait, are we gonna say we're? Obviously, we can't say we're from here. We stick out like a sore thumb.
We just
When-
woke up in the desert. We've wandered our way to this.
Should we come up with like a team name or like gang signs?
Yes. We should be.
The Wrens. The,
The Runs?
The living Wren. The living Wrens.
The Rents? Rents.
No,
Rents.
I'm sorry. I'm maybe I have trouble enunciating.
The Rents isn't bad. I don't like. Gideon, what do you think? The Rents?
I think nicknames are a thing made up by
Good story.
people trying to sell you things that you don't need.
Well, Alana, what do you think?
Yeah, that hits hard.
I mean, it's more like the lament than the rents, in my opinion.
Ooh, the
Boom,
lament.
boom, boom.
Am I taking
not bad.
psychic damage now?
Bungo, what do you?
And whispers. Vicious mockery. Just kidding.
Hey, was there horseradish in this?
Okay, so
De
we're
la
traveling.
Rents.
We just found our way here.
See? People?
Should we say anything about Sithicus?
No,
No,
no.
we're just traveling from another land. We got
Hey,
turned
Doc.
around in the desert.
Mm.
Woke up in the desert, and we're trying to orient ourselves to where we are.
All right. Hey, you've led us good this whole time. Let
So
us
somehow,
well.
somehow we survived. Somehow we survived the a walk in the desert, and this is the first civilization we've seen in quite some time.
Which is
We need water.
true. Technically, right?
Yeah.
No one's lying, right?
You're lying.
Okay, so let's make our way down as a group then to the
You guys
to
start
the
to make your
party.
way down the. So when you come out and you see it, you're like, oh, this is like a impromptu, but like yeah, like bizarre, or you know, there's definitely a lot of trade going on, and a lot of just like there's like fun things too. Some people are competing in different things, and like I said, there's some interesting animals. There's a
What?
Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm gonna say, what language are they speaking?
They are speaking a. They are speaking common, but they're speaking in a. They have a strange accent, but they are speaking.
Okay.
Or at least that's what it sounds like to you. But yes, they are speaking common.
Okay.
As you
We
guys
don't
approach,
Playing
go ahead.
though.
Yes, exactly. Yep, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and like hand signals and stuff. Maybe the thumbs up is like it means up your butt, and it's not good.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind before you start throwing up gang signs. And yeah, middle finger means I love you. So,
Yeah.
but as you guys make your way down, you see some people turn. There's a couple dozen, or maybe like 30 or 40 people, like total, including the. So it's not like a town necessarily, or like a city.
tribe?
It's just yeah, and it doesn't even look like you see there's like a lot of camels. It looks like people have traveled here. This is like that type of thing. But as soon as you approach, you see this man. He kind of looks over. He's got like olive skin and big black beard. It's well manicured. He's got blue, light, wavy clothing. It's tight around the waist with like a sash. There's a sword on his side with it gets wide at the tip and a wicked curve. He's got a blue turban on with, wrapped tightly, and he sees you guys approaches, walks up immediately. Ah, Welcome, strangers. I am Mahadi.
Howdy, hey, Gideon. We got spun around in the desert, so
Oh,
Yes, we
a dangerous place to be spun around. Come in.
we woke up in the sand and this was the only thing we could see.
Fortunate
Hmm.
to find uh, the wandering emporium, as it were.
what you got
Bones,
going
nice to
on
meet
here
you.
though? Looks pretty cool.
We use the comfort of the shade to trade and to converse, and though we welcome strangers, of course we will not tolerate any kind of theft or violence.
Of course.
I think you understand. What is your name?
Gideon.
Gideon.
Bones.
Ren,
You, Devil Lady. What is your name?
Alana, it's a pleasure. I'll put out my hand in a dainty way.
We're known as the Laments.
The Laments?
Yes. Seems we all.
That is a terrible name, but what do I know? You're fired. He's he tells you
Don't
guys,
worry, you
well,
get to
you're
know
more
us, it'll make sense.
yeah, you're more than welcome. That sounds like it is bad omen. Call yourself, or perhaps your enemies lament seeing you. Ah, I see. As he brings you in, come in. You must be thirsty, no doubt. We have water,
Hmm.
and uh, perhaps you would like a meal. We have a few drinks. Much
Hey.
appreciated. Being lost in the sands can be a dangerous thing. Uh, Many bleached bones scatter these dunes.
Glad I didn't
Oh,
become one of them.
indeed. Come, I'll take you to the. You may rest and eat, but then we can talk. I can help you if you have questions. Perhaps I might even join you. I'd like to get
ooh,
to know anyone who knew who.
I like this. We're making friends already?
Well, I am friend to all until they make an enemy of me. That is
What
my
was
that is
your
my
name
You
motto.
don't
again?
need to worry about us then.
Mahadi.
Mahadi. Trust me, Muhadi, I have a sense that we are going to get along greatly. Um, you seem to know your way around here. On our way to getting rest, food, and water and whatnot,
Yeah.
could I just ask? I know it's a little overt, but you guys sell monkeys around here?
No, no monkeys. They would not last long.
Yeah. Fuck. All right. Well,
Good.
hey, you know, there's always the next oasis.
As you guys make it to the he actually would join you for, he'll have a drink while you guys kind of have get some water and eat if you want, or whatever, take a second. You are tired, and even though you're still walking in 90-degree weather, and here it is still like there's a breeze. It's 82, 84. It's tolerable. It's still a little rough, um but you're able to kind of relax, and it seems like this area just is a little bit cooler. But yeah, so tells you you're you look like strangers. You do not look like you're foreigners, no doubt. Strangers. He'll get you some water or ale from the. he-
Is this
Bring us drinks.
what does this cost?
Well, we do trade. We do have coin, of course. Gold is always appreciated, but I will get you a first one.
This gold? I'll flick him gold from home.
Well, any gold will spin fine here, but I've not seen this marking or stamp.
What about
But
this?
you use gold, right?
Of course, gold, silver.
Guys, we did it.
We're back where currency makes sense.
Oh,
I'll flip
And
him
of
one of the
course, Seashells. Oh, what? God damn it! What is the value of these seashells?
They're very rare in the desert.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're like diamonds.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So he'll well, you were lost, no doubt. Well,
Yes, we
must be far from home.
Very.
to be honest, we have no idea where we are or exactly where we're going.
It can be tough. Well, if I this land, I do not, it is a dangerous place. You do not know how to walk its path. There is a city, the largest in the land, not too far. 3 days
Hmm.
in Kara.
Ooh, para
Yeah.
with a P.
Kara. K. And Kara. And Collar.
And-
And Kara. Damn it.
Kara.
And Kara.
Got
And
it.
Kara.
Got it.
All right.
Yeah. Kara.
Sorry. That's on me,
Sorry.
not
No,
you.
no, I then I misspoke when you asked. So it was like
And Kara.
Narnia.
Right.
Yeah, Narnia.
Alana will ask him while we're sharing refreshments and things like that. Where can we buy like head coverings for the trip and being in this land?
indeed. Oh yes, we have some of the finest tradesmen and clothing and such you'll find here. Absolutely. Yes, you're right. This will never do. Cook you. We use similar things to cook our chicken.
Yeah,
The
tell me
chicken
about it.
out there. You know what they have to cook our camel. What do we have? Damn it! I didn't know more about what desert people eat.
Scorpion.
Scorpion. Yeah.
Scorpion,
There's
spider, small ants.
Rodent.
Probably a lot
Like,
of
I don't know. I
ants.
think maybe that's not
Goat, or is that a
bugs, rodent.
stereotype?
They're filthy
Goat.
people. No, they're not. Stop.
locust burgers.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of insects.
Yeah, a lot of, bug
Ooh.
protein. No, yeah. So you guys, but they bring out whatever they do eat there. Some like naan and
Fried
some
chicken.
like, yeah. Well, yeah, but it's the desert, man. Like, keep
Yeah,
chickens
chickens
in the
survive
desert.
out there. They you
Jerky.
I'm everywhere, man.
you get a
And that's
you get
where
an insect,
that's where
they're
the D&D session ended in a 30-minute discussion / argument over whether or not chickens.
good. Chickens can
I
survive in the
think we're
desert.
getting canceled.
Yeah. So so he explains to you though that would be a place you might be able to find. That might be a place where you can find people who can answer your question. Dangerous.
Um,
But there's
can I-
ways if you know how to travel.
We
More
do not know how to
almost like
travel here.
Indeed. We could you could pay for a guide, somebody to take you. I strongly suggest it.
what do guides usually go for?
Well, you have to speak to them about it.
Okay.
$25, same as downtown.
I'm gonna subtle spell cast message to Bungo and just say, should we mention Sinmet, the mummy lich, or no?
Too soon. It's up to you. I mean, it's like just showing up in out of character. It's like showing up in Nazi Germany saying, "Hey, here there's a guy named Hitler."
Yeah, is Hitler here?
No,
Yeah, okay.
we're gonna have a word.
We
Well, it
we
depends
just
on
heard
who
he's
you
pretty cool.
Yes.
We just got double canceled.
Look,
What's
mine's
the
not
leader?
cancelable. Okay, it was clearly nip that in the bud
Um,
before we even.
Wait, what
Clearly
flags
talking
are
about
they
me.
flying?
Yeah.
What's the leadership, the governance situation like around here? Who's in charge? Who keeps
The
who do
Pharaoh,
we
of
need to
course.
look out for? Oh, the Pharaoh.
Yes, of course.
We're pretty ignorant. Like I said, like my friend Bones was mentioning, we got turned around in the desert and we're very unfamiliar with these lands.
I said that.
So the Pharaoh is in the major city, I'm guessing.
Well, near it.
I see.
Sure.
There's a great uh, pyramid and palace. Palace on the outside and a pyramid. Um, that is where the Pharaoh stays usually.
And does he have a name, or is that all you refer to him as? It's just the Pharaoh.
Sinmet.
So,
So be wary to speak his name in any ill way in earshot of many, just about, and most who are fervent. They believe him. I guess he would be like he is a god pharaoh, a god king.
hmm.
I would someday very, very much like to earn an audience with this God King. But we've all got
Quite
dreams.
indeed,
Yes.
indeed. Well, if you wish to go there, eat, drink, rest. If you wish to shop and buy your clothing, check around, spend a day or two if you wish.
We would much be interested in a guide, I think, as well, if there was any way of
Yes, it will
helping us
take me. Give
find
me a
someone.
few. Yes, give me a little bit. I will ask around to see who's available. But when after you rest, speak to me and we'll see what we can find for you. But it's a dangerous place, this land.
Hmm.
The sands take what they will. They devour weakness, foolishness.
I'd like to get an extra set of eyes on my coin purse. I just want to keep a lookout for pickpockets.
Fair.
His words set me on edge a little bit. That's all.
Just nudge me, and I'll try to keep an eye out for you.
What do you guys plan on doing? He says they have like this big, one of those big, big tents that has like a split in the back, and there's like sleeping rooms with like multiple tents. You guys have like a sleeping room, and he gave you like a meal, paid for your meal or whatever, like took care of it since you're first.
That sounds great. I'll divvy
mean-
up my meal amongst my favorite members of the party in that order. And then, I assume when they rest, I'm gonna try to sleep because I don't know any better yet.
I'm gonna remind Fred, a whisper in his ear to try to remember to pretend to eat some things, so that other people might not pick up on the fact that of his health condition.
That's a great idea. What happens if I eat stuff?
So as you guys are, you
It just
get a
goes
good
right
meal.
through me.
You get a good meal and drink some water, which is what desperately needed. You guys were, running low. Made your way, or got some rest. Ren, you laid there for a while. You're like, yeah, oh yeah, I don't have to sleep, but you try for a while. Um, at this point, Ren, it's been a couple hours while everybody's sleeping. You're sitting there, you're just contemplating life, and you just feel, you perceive a slightest hum, vibration. Like, I mean, it's nothing like, nothing's moving. It's just like, it's imperceptible almost, except kind of not even a rumble isn't a good word, just like a hum, vibration coming from the ground.
Feel it, feel it.
Are you there, Aslan? It's me, Ren again. I mean, going through a lot of changes recently.
You now feel a little bit more like a rumble's still not the right word, like a vibration. Like, but now you kind of feel it, versus it just being like,
Feel the vibration.
I guess I gotta like sit up, acknowledge, or
so you're like
feel what's.
now you're like leaning up and like really feeling for what it
Yeah,
was.
is this?
As that happens, you see you see sand start to just kind of fall in on you a little bit, just like not pouring in, but it's like kind of hitting you, and you're like, what is this coming? Like, what is this coming from? And then all of a sudden, you see the tent you're in just kind of not even collapse, just fade as sand's kind of falling in on you a little bit, and you realize as you look around, and you see that that festival is not there. You're in a rocky outcropping still. You're on the ground. You see they were sleeping in beds, but they're just laying on the ground. And you see Mahadi is up on a stone, and he's watching. And at that moment, as you're about to say something, as this all about to happen, you feel a real rumble, like the ground starts to shake like wildly. And at the last second, as everybody's actually kind of shaken awake, the ground erupts as this thing comes bursting up out of the ground. This giant armor-plated worm. It's got a dark purple hue as it rips up through the ground. Yes, feed my pet. Eat. You hear Mahadi say from up in the distance.
Fuck you.
You guys wake up with extremely parched and like dry
Do I
mouths, like
wake
you
up
guys
then, or is
haven't
that
had
just
any
real?
water. But everybody's it'll be like a surprise round, except for Ren and anyone else who has any reason to not be surprised, but will not be surprised.
I think I'm surprised.
Unfortunately, the map I had like won't load. I don't know what is going on here. I guess I can do this. At the very least, actually, I don't know. So I was just gonna do the old fashioned. I think I can at least do this. It won't. It'll be kind of funny, but
Are all the other people gone too?
yes, there's nothing there but where you guys were sitting and eating was nothing. The ground or a rock.
Yeah. So all we see is the creature in Mahadi.
Yep. It appears to have all been an elaborate and powerful illusionary interaction. It seemed out of the ordinary, didn't it? It seemed odd. That just kind of crazy. So I can do this actually though too. I'm gonna move you guys over. It is not obviously this is just like dark. They're like sand and ground. It's not festival, but
No. Well, Tony's not working for me.
If anyone's able to dump a picture of it in the
why don't we call it tonight? I hate to do it because this will probably be a decent battle, which normally I would love to go through and have no problem. But you're waiting. You're off your computer. His is having trouble. I'm okay with that actually, and then we'll start with a big
Yeah, it's
battle.
11:20 too. It's not terribly.
Yeah, it's
early,
yeah. I mean,
so.
yeah, it's a little early, but I think that's probably the right call in that situation.
You just made my wife happy.
I didn't ask you guys before this, and I was going to, and I hope it didn't bite me in the ass but it's also up to you guys to know this and say something. But do you or none of you have anything like you're not immune to illusions, right?
No.
No.
I don't think so. I didn't think so. I was gonna ask, but then I was like, that kind of ruins things if the DM's randomly like, hey, are any of you immune to illusion or any of have any illusion?
No,
That's why I like Roll20. I know I can have access to your other ones, but if everybody's on Roll20, I can just go at any time and like look at what you guys are,
Guys,
throwing
I
that out
will
there.
figure out the importer. I have a solution in mind. Once I know it works, I'll just pass it to all of you, and you just run this script from your authenticated Roll20 account. It'll grab your character, pop it right in. Problem is, we got to do it every time we level up, but that's not a big deal.
Or you could just you could just make the character in Roll20. God, I have all the books.
Yeah.
It's too late now. Next time though, I'm
No,
in.
yeah, of course we're not doing it this time. No, I know. But anyway,
Yeah.
so that's good. But
All right, so we have Arcanus Rebirth this Tuesday, and then next Saturday we'll be back here with the next chapter, and when Black Roses bloom. Whoa! Flash went in her. All right, so yeah,
we're saying.
do the things, and I don't know. We love you. Wait, hold on.
Mike